at-large works to empower internet users like you all over the world by promoting digital inclusion, engagement, and safety. One of our missions is to raise awareness about digital threats, and today's session is an example of that. The title of this course is Defend Yourself and Others Against Cybercrime. We will give you tools to protect yourself and the knowledge of how to help others around you, whether that's in your workplace, your family, or your wider community. Today, we'll focus on one of the most common and dangerous types of cybercrime, phishing. We'll learn what it looks like, how to spot it, and how to prevent falling victim to it. Whether you're a newcomer to cybersecurity or already familiar with some of these concepts, this session will give you practical strategies, real-life examples, and tools you can use immediately. So let's get started by understanding just how serious this issue has become around the world.
Let's begin by looking at the scale of the problem. In 2021, the estimated global cost of cybercrime was $6 trillion. That's more than the GDP of most countries.
By 2025, that number was projected to hit $10.5 trillion annually. That's a nearly 75% increase in just 4 years. Those numbers include not just the cost of stolen data, but also such impacts of cybercrime as business interruption, legal fees, and loss of reputation and public trust.
It's important to highlight that cybercrime affects everyone. Governments, public entities such as hospitals and schools, businesses big and small, and especially individual users like us. Despite growing cyber risks, only 15% of people in regions like Latin America, Africa, and Southeast Asia feel adequately prepared to handle a major cyber attack. That's why we're here today, to understand what one of the most common cybercrimes, phishing, is, how to recognize it, and how to avoid becoming the next victim. Learning how to identify and stop phishing attempts is essential because often they serve as a gateway to more serious attacks on you or your organization.
There are many types of cybercrime. The most common include hacking, phishing, and malware. If television and movies are to be believed, most cybercrime is the work of brilliant hackers who break through sophisticated security systems and firewalls to gain access to sensitive data. While this does happen, nearly 80% of cybercrime results from someone voluntarily giving away their credentials. It has long been said that the easiest way to obtain a user ID and password is simply to ask for it. For many years, this often involved calling someone on the phone and pretending to be a trusted authority, such as a member of the IT department. For example, "Hello, Mr. Smith. This is Sophia from IT. We're running some system tests. I know it's lunchtime, but if you could stay at your desk until we're done, that would really help. As we move to a more secure system, could you please tell me your current password?" A simple script like this was often enough to convince someone to share their login details, allowing a malicious actor to access systems and commit identity theft or fraud. Today, cybercriminals use even simpler and more scalable methods. Instead of making individual phone calls, they can quickly generate thousands of text, voice, or video messages and send them to multiple recipients within seconds.
The structure of the course is as follows. We will start by looking at the definition of phishing. Then we will learn how to identify phishing attempts, and lastly, we will gain more knowledge on how to react to them to protect ourselves and others.
Phishing is a type of cybercrime that employs social engineering techniques to trick a victim into taking actions desired by the cybercriminal, like downloading an infected file. The goal of the attacker is usually to get your login credentials or other sensitive information, which will later allow them to steal your or your organization's data, money or other resources, or commit further crimes, like blackmailing. We talk about a phishing attack when attackers pretend to be someone else, a person or institution, such as your family member, police officer, or bank. They try to make you behave in a certain way by using psychological methods, such as creating a feeling of urgency or tricking an emotional response.
Let's look at an example of a phishing attack scheme. A phishing scheme begins with an attempt to contact you by message or phone call, with the goal of encouraging you to visit a particular destination, such as a website. The attacker pretends to be someone you trust, such as a relative, a bank, an airline, or a fundraising organization. They use language that emphasizes urgency. For example, someone is trying to steal money from your account. Eventually, they ask you to visit a website to log in and resolve the problem. When you arrive at the website provided by the attacker, it appears legitimate. It may look identical to the real website you normally use. You see a familiar login screen and are prompted to enter your credentials. You assume that after entering them, you will be directed to your account. However, in a phishing attack, the website is fake. It is a farming website designed to collect your personal information. When you enter your login details, they are sent to a server controlled by the criminals. Your username and password are captured and can then be used to log in to the real website, such as your bank. Before you even realize what has happened, the criminals may access your account, steal money or data, and disappear.
Phishing attacks may be taken via various channels. The most common ones are text messages, phone calls, emails, and messages via communicators and social media platforms like WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram, etc.
There are different types of phishing attacks. Let's explore them one by one. Spear phishing is a type of phishing campaign where a specific individual or group is targeted, often with the use of information that is known to be of interest to that person or group, such as current events, financial documents, etc. Smishing is a kind of attack where the attacker uses fake mobile text messages to trick individuals into downloading malware, sharing sensitive information, or sending money to cybercriminals. The term smishing is a combination of SMS, or short message service, the technology behind text messages, and phishing. Phishing or voice phishing is a type of attack where scammers use phone calls to trick individuals into revealing personal information, such as passwords or credit card numbers, by pretending to be a legitimate entity. Whaling is a type of attack targeted towards high-profile victims, such as company executives. An attacker tries to make use of a victim's position to get access to valuable, well-protected resources of the organization.
After we learned basics about what phishing is, let's now have a look at the methods of identifying phishing attempts.
Some common signs of phishing attempts are urgent or threatening language. For example, your account will be locked, suspicious sender addresses, or mismatched URLs, requests for sensitive information, such as passwords or payment details, poor grammar or spelling errors, unexpected attachments, especially .zip and .exe files.
We will now take a deep dive into examples of warning signs in phishing emails. Let's examine this email closely. What we can see is a suspicious sender's email address, 272zap, alias@mail.com, is not a legitimate domain for official communications. A generic greeting, "Hello user," instead of your name suggests a mass phishing attempt. urgent, and alarming language. Phrases like delete your account in progress and cancel request immediately are designed to panic you into acting without thinking. This is a classic account suspension scam. Legitimate services will never threaten users with immediate account deletion or ask for sensitive information via email. Always verify such claims by logging in directly through the official website. Never click on embedded links.
Let's examine another example. A fake invoice from Norton LifeLock service. First, notice the mismatched sender's domain. The email address, nortonservices89@norton.com, is misspelled as Norten, which is a clear warning sign. Second, there is an urgent request for action. The message pressures you to call a toll-free number, +1 845 228 8766, to resolve a fabricated issue. Third, look at the suspicious details. The invoice number, support 8080, and the lack of any personalized order history are inconsistent with legitimate Norton communications. Remember, always cross-check contact details on the official website of the organization that supposedly sent you the message.
This email appears harmless, even friendly, with a subject line like, "Great seeing you last week." But when we take a deeper look, we can see several warning signs. AI-generated personalization. Alan didn't just guess that you have kids or know about that game last weekend. AI tools allow criminals to scrape public profiles such as LinkedIn, Facebook, or community forums to build a detailed profile about you. The friendly reminder about Saturday is not a coincidence. It is based on the attacker's research. Use of friendly language. Phrases such as, "Hey Tom," "Cheers, Alan," may make this feel like a message from a real friend. However, the tone is generic enough to work on anyone named Tom. AI systems analyze thousands of real emails to mimic this friendly professional writing style. A link to interesting resources. The goal is to make you curious and encourage you to click, for example, to see the pictures. The link could lead to a fake login page designed to steal your credentials, or it could silently install malware on your device. Remember, if an email feels unusual, always verify the sender's identity through another channel, such as a direct text message or phone call, before clicking anything. If you don't recognize the sender and were not expecting any photos, even if your kids really did play in a game last Saturday, be especially cautious. This is also a good reminder that any information you share online can be used by criminals. Always think twice before posting or submitting personal details.
So, summarizing previous information, how can you spot a phishing attempt? A phishing message typically asks victims to perform one or more of these actions. Click a malicious link leading to fake login pages. Download an infected attachment delivering malware. Call a toll-free number for phishing scams.
One of the consequences of downloading a file from a phishing message is that your device may become infected with malware. Malware is malicious software designed to damage or disrupt systems, steal data, or gain unauthorized access. The common types of malware include virus, infects files and spreads to other systems; worms, self-replicating malware that spreads automatically; trojans, malicious software disguised as legitimate programs; spyware, secretly monitors user activity. Some real-world examples of malware attacks include the I Love You virus, which spread through email and caused approximately US $15 billion in damages; Pegasus spyware, which was used to infiltrate mobile phones and monitor activists and journalists.
So, what should you do to avoid downloading suspicious email attachments? Here are some tips and solutions. Avoid opening .zip or .exe files from unknown senders. Verify the sender's identity before downloading any attachment. Always stay skeptical of unexpected emails and attachments. Now, let's look at a real-life scenario to understand this better. Imagine you receive an email with the subject line, "Your flight itinerary." The email includes an attachment named ticket_123.exe. Although it appears legitimate, opening this file would install malware on your device. This is a common example of an email attachment scam. Tip: if you are unsure about an attachment, do not open it. If you work within an organization, report the email to your IT or security team. If you are an individual or independent user, mark the email as phishing in your email application or report it to your email service provider for investigation.
Scammers can also impersonate customer support agents, for example from your bank or internet provider, to request payments or sensitive information or asking you to download some software to access your devices.
In such a scenario, you can use the following protection tips and solutions. Always check the contact details on the official websites of the company or organization. If the phone number doesn't match, it's the first sign you should be suspicious. However, remember that criminals can use spoofing, a method that allows them to pretend they call or message you from the official organization's number. So simply checking if the contact details works is never enough. Never share personal data or any other sensitive information over calls. The real service provider will never ask you for this. Always verify the caller's legitimacy. The best way is to use two-factor authentication for the most important services, such as banking. This means that if the bank contacts you, they have to confirm their credibility via another channel, for example, by sending you a notification in the banking application. This is the safest and most trusted way to verify the authenticity of the call. Be skeptical. If anything feels off, take a pause and try to think about the situation carefully. Assess the ways in which you can verify the call or the message. Ask yourself questions such as, would the real institution, like a bank, need such information from me? Remember, it is usually better not to take any action than to act in a hurry. Example: a pop-up alert claims your computer has a virus. Call 1-800-121-5000 for help. The scammer then demands payment for tech support. This will be a red flag. Legitimate companies like Microsoft, Apple, Google, etc. won't call unsolicited.
Links to farming sites are designed to collect your personal information. The fake websites look almost identical to real ones you might use every day, like gaming sites, social media, or online stores. They are designed to trick you into entering your personal information, such as your login and password or credit card details. For example, you might get a message saying your Instagram account will be deleted unless you click a link and log in immediately, but the website isn't actually Instagram, even if it looks similar. The scammers can then steal whatever information you type in, which could let them hack your accounts, make unauthorized purchases, or cause other problems.
To protect yourself from falling for a farming website, always double-check links before clicking them. A good trick is the hover method. You put your mouse cursor over the link without clicking on it to see the actual web address.
Another tip is to check the domain of the website, the name you can see in the search bar. Check out if it is spelt correctly, without missing or extra letters. For example, Banks of Americas instead of Bank of America. Another thing to watch out for is the use of letters from other alphabets, such as Latin, A, instead of alphabetical, A, or unmatching generic top-level domains, like the letters after the dot, for example. UK instead of .com.
Let's look at a real-world phishing email. At first glance, the message may seem urgent, claiming your account is being closed and asking you to act immediately. But notice the sender's email address, StephenYoung279zapped@alias@mail.com. You don't recognize this person, which is a red flag. Also, hovering over the cancel request immediately link reveals a suspicious web address. Clicking it could take you to a malicious site designed to steal your information. Always verify the sender and hover over links to check the actual URL before clicking.
Here's another example. This one appears to come from a fake Norton or antivirus service. The email includes a fraudulent invoice or payment notice and urges you to call a toll-free number or click a link to resolve the issue. The sender's address looks slightly off, such as nortonservice89@norton.com, a small misspelling designed to trick you. The message creates a strong sense of urgency. You've been charged $199. If this wasn't you, call now to cancel. These tactics are meant to make you act quickly without thinking. If you call the number, you'll reach a scammer. If you click the link, you may be taken to a fake login page that steals your information.
This next one is sneakier. It feels friendly, even familiar. It might read something like, "Hey Tom, great seeing you last weekend. Thought you'd like these photos. Click here to check them out." But here's what's really happening. The attacker is using AI and data scraping from social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, and public forums, to craft emails that sound personal. They know just enough about you to seem credible. Maybe you do have kids, maybe there was a school event last Saturday. And when you click that photo link, it could install malware or lead to a fake login page. These emails feel human, but they're anything alike human. Always verify unexpected messages, even from people you know, through another channel like a text or direct call, before clicking on anything.
Let's now talk about something that looks harmless, even helpful, but can be quite dangerous in the wrong hands: QR codes. QR codes are everywhere, and while they're convenient, they can also be risky. Cybercriminals use a tactic called phishing, where fake QR codes lead to malicious websites that steal login details, install malware, or impersonate trusted organizations. Unlike links on a computer, QR codes don't let you preview the destination, so it's easy to be tricked. Always verify the source, avoid scanning codes from unknown or suspicious places, and never enter personal or login information unless you're sure the site is legitimate. For transparency, the QR code shown here links to the displayed Google quiz URL on phishing. Stay cautious, because not every QR code can be trusted.
Now let's look at a more focused and dangerous type of phishing known as spear phishing. Unlike general phishing attacks that are sent to thousands of people, spear phishing is highly targeted. Cybercriminals carefully tailor their messages to trick a specific individual or organization. They often use personal details such as your name, job role, or recent activities to make the message appear legitimate. The email or message may seem to come from someone you trust, like your manager, a coworker, or a known vendor. The goal is to pressure you into clicking a malicious link, opening an infected attachment, or sharing sensitive information, such as passwords or financial details. If you receive an unexpected message that feels unusually personal or urgent, pause and verify the source before taking action. Spear phishing is convincing and dangerous, but awareness is your best defense. So the correct answer on this slide is option C, targeted phishing attack.
So, how can you avoid falling victim to phishing attacks? Prevention starts with awareness. Always double-check the sender's email address, watch for spelling or grammar errors, and be cautious with links and attachments, especially if the message feels urgent or suspicious. Never share passwords or personal information over email, and avoid clicking links from unknown sources. If you're unsure, hover over a link to preview where it leads, or verify the request through a trusted method, such as contacting the sender directly using official contact details. If you believe you've received or responded to a phishing attempt, report it immediately. If you're part of an organization, use the Report Phishing option in your email or notify your IT or security team. If you're an individual user, report the message to your email provider, mark it as phishing, and consider reporting it to relevant cybercrime or consumer protection authorities in your region. Reporting helps stop the spread and protects others. Remember, prevention is your first line of defense, but reporting is how you fight back.
Email is one of the most common ways cybercriminals launch phishing attacks, which makes securing your inbox critical. Here are 3 simple but powerful ways to protect yourself. First, email encryption. Encryption scrambles your email content so only the intended recipient can read it, protecting sensitive information like financial details, health records, or contracts. Most major email providers offer encryption options, and you can find step-by-step guidance in their security or help settings. Second, two-factor authentication, or 2FA. This adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second code, usually sent to your phone or generated by an app, even if your password is compromised. Third, use secure email services. Choose trusted email platforms that include built-in phishing detection, spam filtering, and strong security controls. If you suspect a phishing email, report it immediately. If you're part of an organization, use the Report Phishing option or notify your IT or security team. If you're an individual user, mark the message as phishing in your email provider and refer to their security support resources for help. Remember, phishing attacks often target the weakest link, and email is frequently that link. Secure your email to protect your identity and your data.
When you're browsing the internet, it's easy to click without thinking, and that's exactly what cybercriminals count on. Let's go over a few simple tips to keep your browsing safe and avoid falling into a phishing trap. Start by watching for spelling and grammar mistakes. Legitimate websites from trusted organizations rarely contain poor language or awkward wording, so if something looks unprofessional, it could be a fake design to steal your information. Next, be cautious with pop-up windows. Pop-ups that ask for your username, password, or credit card details are a common phishing tactic. If you're unsure, close the pop-up and navigate to the website directly using your browser instead. Finally, always check the URL carefully. Phishing sites often use misspelled or unusual web addresses that closely resemble real ones. If the URL includes extra characters, numbers, or small spelling errors, it's likely a scam. The bottom line is simple: if something feels off, trust your instincts. Pause, take a closer look, and stay alert. Your awareness is your strongest defense when browsing online.
If you suspect a phishing attempt, report it immediately to the appropriate authority. Individuals can report phishing to their local or national cybercrime or consumer protection agency, For example, in the United States, phishing incidents can be reported to the Federal Trade Commission, FTC. You can also report phishing attempts to cybersecurity research and reporting organizations such as netbeacon.org or acidtool.com. Reporting helps authorities track threats, take action against attackers, and protect others from falling victim.
Let's take a quick recap of what we have learned so far today. We understood what phishing is, the rise in phishing attacks, and the economic loss related to it.
We discussed how to identify phishing attempts. For example, while checking email, pay attention to email attachment. Avoid .zip and .exe files, since zip files are frequently used for phishing campaigns, ransomware, and other malicious activities. Before opening such files, ask yourself again, do I know the sender? Have a re-look once again at the email address of the sender and not just the sender's name. Always be skeptical.
We also discussed that we should use only numbers that are registered on the approved website. Type the number in yourself and do not use it from any link that has been shared. Never give away any sensitive information. Last but not least, and again, always be skeptical.
Be careful with links. If you doubt their credibility, it is better to think twice if you really need to click on them. Check the spelling of the links. A hover method we learned today may help you see the actual web address behind the link on your computer. Just put your cursor on the link without clicking on it.
Remember to report any phishing attempt to the local authorities. If possible, international organizations. Even if you are not sure if it was a real attack, it is always better to report it than leave it without action. Reporting is crucial to protect others from further attacks.
Congratulations, you completed the course. We hope this knowledge will help you protect yourself and your close ones from cybercrime. If you found this course useful, please share it with others.